Hello. Hello, everybody. Everybody. What's cracking? What's happening? What's going on? How is everybody doing? Guys, people, I drove for my company that I work for and I didn't like it. I seen a major accident. Story time, guys. By the way, guys, it is only 6:41. I have no control over the lighting in this room. I am in my room now. And yeah, it's not supposed to get dark at 6 o'clock, but yes, now it got dark at 6 o'clock. This time change, I hate it. Everybody does. I mentioned it a while back. I'm going to keep mentioning it. But, anyways, so just adjust to my little likings here. Also, I had went well. If anybody knows, I do work at an auto parts store. Auto parts stores, they have to do deliveries. They have to do these. I do not want to drive at all, like for the company. I just get so scared. I get scared to drive a company's vehicle because it's like I need some sort of surveillance. Like if they had a dash camera at on old times, or something that backs me up just in case I get into an accident or something, because I'm just kind of like just thinking that way. So my company, well, I was from DIY. I moved to the back of the hub. I was working for them for a while, about like 2 months. I'm still working there, but I'm saying I moved to the position, and they were going to eliminate some drivers because they were slacking off and yada yada yada. And they couldn't find anybody, so the managers have to drive. The managers have to drive, and I'm a manager, so they're like, I told my I told the hub coordinator, I said, I am a last resort if you want me to drive. I do not want to drive. And then he's all like, well, this is kind of like last resort. And I'm all like, oh. So those drivers, of course, they fired them. But now, the heck is all that noise? Oh, I think it's a kid's toy. It's going crazy over here. So the company has these big old uh, Chevy Silverados. They're huge, they're humongous for no reason. For no reason. Like the cab, I mean, you can fit some things in there, but just the car itself is just so big. Like it kind of makes no sense in my place. The way the truck has to be so big and whatnot. And it doesn't have a back seat, it just has the passenger driver's seat. So the oh, my neighbor's looking at me. Oh, don't look at me. So I'm so used to my little car, so used to being low to the ground that it just kind of terrifies me to even think about driving for the company. One great day, I gotta get on with the story, but this is story time. And coming in, welcome in. One day I came in and they were talking about basically who's gonna drive today. And my hub coordinator was looking around and I guess talking to the others and stuff. So I kind of heard him glimpse and say, let's have her drive, but I'm going to show her the route. I'm the best person that's going to show her the route because it's a big route. And when I heard that, I was like, oh, I'm going to die. Like, I felt like sinking, like at that moment. He didn't tell me yet, but I overheard it. And I'm like, oh, no, I hope he's talking about some other girl that works here, you know? And so I'm like, looking at him. He looks at me and he says, "You're going to go with me on a run so you can see the run and the route, how we supposed to take the routes to store." And I just, my heart sunk, and I started getting into like a panic mode where I was starting to shake, and I was like, I was getting a little panic attack, and I'm like, oh no, see, the thing is, I can't hold my flight, however you call it. It just, it hurts a lot. So I was like, when he asked me that, I said, "Oh, I told you I was last resort. Hello, hello, welcome in." And I said, "I told you I was last resort." He's like, "I need you to drive. We need drivers." And then I was like, oh, hold on, let me get myself together, because I was gonna have a panic attack, and I was about to. And so I'm all like, let me put some, they call it lavender on my wrist, and I was just trying my hardest to understand what I was gonna be going through. So hold on, give me a sec, guys. So I was trying my hardest to understand what I was going through, and I said, I was trying to talk with myself, and I'm all getting nervous and stuff. And I, this happened a long time ago, but since I've been gone off the internet, just letting you know what happened during the times. So we get in the truck, and he's nervous because he's got to instruct. He's the type of person that wants to say things the right way and a good manner instead of like blah blah. So I understand he's just like trying to figure things out. I'm over here just nervous as f. So we're going on the freeways and stuff, and it's just, it my heart starts racing, and I'm just trying to cope myself together. And I was like, no man, I tried to focus on the route that when he was taking me in, and then like we went to stores and we dropped off car parts and stuff, and then we went to another store. But these were stores areas, if, like in Katy area, Cinco Ranch. So we went kind of like that area, and I do not know that area. I don't feel comfortable driving in an area that I don't know. But that's why he was there for, to help guide me the direction of how they're supposed to take, what streets they're supposed to take on a daily. So after that, I was like, oh, it's almost over. Like, it's almost over, because we were, I don't know, about an hour, no, about 2 hours driving, about 2 hours plus traffic driving. And we got back, and then we went on, basically, I went on lunch, and had my lunch, which, yeah, we'll get into that later. Had my little lunch, came back, and then he says, "Here's the keys. You can go ahead and drive." And I'm like, "No, you what? I just started. Like, I'm not ready." And then he's all like, "I have no drivers. You have to drive." And I was like, I was trying to not ball up and cry, because I do not, and again, I don't want to drive for a company that doesn't have any sort of like dash cameras or cameras or surveillance because I want to back somebody up. Plus, it's a big mofo truck. So I'm not used to driving a big truck. And so it's just like I have so many nervousness and like after that I was just my mind was like all over the place. And when I tell you I loaded up my stuff that I need to load up, I was so freaking nervous. And I was just going in and out of unconsciousness basically. Like I'm zoning out. I don't feel like I'm alive. I feel detached. I just felt a lot of emotions. And I may be over exaggerating, but I do not like driving, period. Not even my car to far places. Like my grandma would drive to here to Austin. She would be driving, but I feel uncomfortable. I don't know. Some say it's like a nauseous feeling. So I was trying to fill out the truck, and it was so big that I was scared to even give it gas. I was scared to even do anything, and I was I felt like I was in one lane and the other lane, like I was all over the place because I don't know how to drive this big truck. I'm just get in and hop in and go. I'm a person that I want to understand my blind spots, and this truck had lots of blind spots. The biggest blind spot was the back of the truck. Oh, goodness gracious, it was the biggest. Like, there's a car behind you, you cannot see it at all. At all. Like, period. No car behind you. And, like, of course, you got cameras and stuff, the backup cameras, but still, it makes me nervous. So after that happened, oh, I said I'm gonna drive the feeder because I don't feel comfortable enough to get on the freeway yet. Not with this big truck and me knowing how to drive it. And we weren't. I was in traffic, so I was in traffic and I was going slowly but surely, and trying to get my mind focused. I was looking at the car ahead of me until that car turned, and so like I was trying to focus on driving. Again, I don't drive, but I would focus on the car in front of me and just keep going. Like focus, don't look at anything else. Like almost like a horse, don't look at anything else. Don't focus on anything else. After there was the car, I don't know. I think I got out of the zone, and what are these people doing? I'm knocking on something, but after I got out of the zone, there was a cop standing, on the feeder. Oh my God, my heart sunk, and I got nervous. It went from ground to down, like it went crazy. And then I turned real quick to a street, and after that, man, I was shaking and shriveling, and I was like, I know I'm not doing anything wrong, I'm not speeding or whatnot, but it took me out to a panic mode. And then I pulled on the side of the road, and I was trying to calm myself down, and I was trying to focus because I still had like 5 more stops. I haven't even went to the first store yet. And then I get back, I calm myself down. I got to the store, like very on the edge, like if you were holding your poop, basically. Like I was like holding the steering wheel to like the fullest, like oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then I got to the store, dropped off the parts, went straight to the restroom, and threw up out of freaking nervousness. I was so nervous, and I'm like, I got 3 more stores to do, and I don't know if I can even do this. I just feel like calling for help and somebody come help me because after my major panic attack, I just don't feel right anymore some days. Like, it was like all over the place. And then I got back in the in the truck, and got in, and I tried to cope with myself, talk to myself. And I went to the second store, And then I was still trying to talk with myself, cope myself. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get me some gum because gum helped me. The gum will help you like gain confidence. So I grabbed me some gum and ate the gum and then turned a little bit of music on and I tried to cope it out. And then I put the AC on full blast to make me feel at least comfortable and numb. So basically, you send your body into shock, basically, because you're cold, you're numb, and you're like, let's just go ahead and get through this. Let's like if you're anxious to pee. It's almost like that thing that if you're anxious to pee, like, oh, I gotta go pee, gotta go pee, go pee. That's how I was trying to focus my brain. So then it came to a roundabout. Oh my God, I got so freaking nervous. I hate roundabouts. I do not like going to them, and I had to. Luckily, I had a good right of way. Nobody was in front of me, nobody was in the back of me. There was construction, and I tried my hardest. And I finally kind of coped with it because I was basically driving for 4.5 hours, basically. And after that, I was on my way back to the facility and I got off the truck as fast as I can. I got off, unloaded, took off my seatbelt, grabbed, clocked out, threw the keys, and I ran out of the store because I was so nervous. And I was like, if I'm gonna throw up, I'm gonna throw up at home. I'm not gonna throw up in front of everybody. I gotta make it home right now, I said. So I literally got in my car, drove as fast as I could here to my place. Ooh, this is where it gets interesting too. Hello, hello, welcome in. And I get here. I throw everything on the floor. I called my grandma. She's like, "How did it go?" And I was talking to my grandma. I was talking to my grandma on the phone, and I was telling her I was so nervous. I threw up, and I don't think I'm ever gonna do this again, and I don't think I can do this anymore. And she's like, "You just tell them that you don't want to do that." And then I was like, all of a sudden, all of a sudden, within that, within, hold on, let me clear my throat. Within that one little minute of me being home, and I literally talked to my grandma for like 1 minute. I hear, and after I heard that, I looked. I was like, "Uh-oh, what happened?" So a truck was pulling in to a well, I don't know how you say it, but it's like a it's like a dead end area. So he was trying to back into the driveway, basically backing into a driveway. The motorcycle, it was a dirt bike. The motorcycle was going forward. The truck, the truck was going this way. The motorcycle was going this way. It was trying to go forward, but the motorcycle didn't know the truck was going to go like that. The motorcycle, bam, hit dead on, dead on, guys, to the truck. The guy flew off the truck. I was like, everybody started running to go over there to see what happened. Guys, when I tell you, I was already nervous from the dang drive. This made me really, really nervous because I've been thinking about the time that I was driving. I was thinking about, okay, I'm not gonna get in a crash. I hope I don't get in a crash. I hope I don't die. I hope I don't get in a crash. I hope I don't get in a crash. Guys, I tell you, that happened. It sent me to like a panic mode too. I was talking to my grandma. Everybody was attesting to this guy. The guy is lying on the floor and he's gasping for air. And I was telling my grandma, I said, "Oh my God, this guy got hit. This guy got hit by the truck. I think he's dying." And I told my grandma I think he's dying because he was literally like like he got the wind out of him and he was twitching in all kind of ways, like they were trying to figure out how they're gonna have like it was just like I was already nervous and this happened and it just sent my brain into weird signals. I started recording after I got through talking to my grandma. Everybody was calling the cops, so I didn't have to worry about that. But I started recording because that's the type of person I am. When things happen, I start recording. So I'm over here recording, and then I hear him like, and everybody's like, pick him up. No, don't pick him up. And saying in Spanish, and they're trying to like try to give him CPR, and people are like, no, just wait for the paramedics. And this guy is literally gasping for air, and I'm all like, oh my God, I think he's dying. He's dying. Like it's hard to watch someone dying, like especially in that type of way. It's very freaking heartbreaking. Like, oh, so after I heard him and he was not trying to gasp for air anymore, I turned the camera off and the paramedics, everybody showed up. And when the paramedics showed up, he was not even moving. It was barely even like it looked like he was there, but they're not there. They got him, they picked him up and put him on the little thing, the stretcher, and put him in the back. And the thing is, they were trying to resuscitate him. So usually, the cops and stuff, they'll sit there and try to resuscitate them instead of taking them to the hospital because it's a motorcycle accident, dude. When I tell you, that was the worst scene I've ever seen in a while, guys. Oh, it will never get out of my head. And after quite some time, I would talk to the officers. I showed them the CCTV cameras because I have cameras everywhere, and I showed them what happened, how it happened, and apparently there was two people on the little dirt bike. They weren't wearing a helmet, of course. They were just joyriding the dirt bike, which is understandable, but at the same time, you don't know what other people have like intentions are, like going, turning left, right. And the guy that ended up hitting him, I think he was full shock. He was in full shock, like he couldn't believe it himself. I couldn't believe it myself. So after quite some time, of course they taped off the whole entire street. Nobody could get out. It was basically a crime scene. And it still bothers me to this day to think about it. But I'm all like, after that, I said nope. I said nope. This is the last thing because I was thinking about being involved in a crash all this time that I was driving. And after that, I sent a big letter. Not sent a letter, but I typed up a letter, sent it to HR, tell them I do not want to drive anymore. And I told them what I've been through, where I was, and I had to pull over and I threw up at the store and I tried to cope and like my it was just all over the place. After I told them that, my my the manager that works there, the hub coordinator, he never said mentioned anything to me about that. And I'm not driving anymore with the company because I stood my ground. And another thing is that I knew I was going to be used all the time if I did choose to keep driving. If I did choose to keep driving, they would ask me over and over and over again to drive. And they will not basically hire drivers because they'll be like, oh no, so y'all can drive. So I knew doing that was going to be the right choice. Not only for that, but for my health. And I'm just like, I'm just kind of like, I was mind blown that that happened, and it throws me back because I feel so bad. I don't think the guy made it, honestly. I think he didn't die at the scene, but I don't think he made it. And it's just it takes that much. Like, I mean, I don't care for motorcycles. I mean, I like them, but I don't understand why they go so fast, why they want to go so fast, and why they don't want to wear a helmet. Of course, there's no there's there's no turning back. But I'm not driving for my company, which is great. There's another story too. Oh, maybe I'll put this in there. But one of my coworkers bought himself a motorcycle, and he don't work there no more. But he bought himself a motorcycle, and I told him, I said, look, be careful. Be careful. It may not be your fault. It may be somebody else's. After that, I told him that. He came back to the store about about 2 months. Well, about a month or 2 months after, and then he says, "Oh, I'm so glad I saw you." And I said, "Oh, what's going on?" He's like, "Guess what?" So what? I totaled my bike. It was not my fault. It was the other person's fault. And I told him, I told you to be careful when you get. And the thing is about him, his mom wrote him a letter to not get a motorcycle and told him, do not get a motorcycle. Do not get a motorcycle. He ended up getting a motorcycle. And then he said the same thing happened to him. He said he flew across and he got winded out. They tried to resuscitate him. They resuscitated him, and then they took him to the hospital where he woke up. And that's all he remembers is people coming after him and saying, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And guys, you just don't know. Like, if y'all get motorcycles, bicycles, any kind of two-wheeler thing, just be careful. You can be, well, let's just say you can be careful all you want, but at the end of the day, you don't know what's going to come after you. You don't know if a tree's going to fall on top of you. You don't know if a car's brakes is not going to work and then they topple you. It don't have to be an intersection. It doesn't have to be, I mean, you could just be in the parking lot and something happens. It may not be your fault at all. Like, but yeah, so we're kind of at the end of the clause. I see one person in here, a couple of people actually. So I drove for my company and I didn't like it at all. I'm so glad that they're not asking me to drive anymore or anything like that, which I do not want to, because that whole day was a full-on day, and I didn't sleep until like 3 o'clock in the morning. Like it was pretty bad, like because I couldn't get the trauma out of my head from work, and I couldn't get the trauma out of my head from the guy dying in the motorcycle. Like there was a lot of trauma, and I was drinking. I still couldn't get that out of my head. It's crazy. So yeah, guys. Oh, we got a couple of more minutes left. Yeah, I just feel so bad for that guy. I wanted to see who the family relatives were, anything like that, because like I said, I'm pretty sure he didn't make it. It's so sad, very sad. But yeah, guys, don't let companies like overrule you on, like I just said about, if changes happen, stick to it. But if changes happen and you don't feel comfortable with it, like you have to drive or something else, always talk to your HR. That's why they're there for you. A lot of people say, "Oh, HR don't work." HR. Well, at least my company, HR worked. But yeah, I don't know. What are y'all guys? What are your guys' thoughts? This is just a story time. I'm just venting on what I've been through for the past month that I haven't been live streaming. I'm just kind of venting and talking. But if you see the video in the future or whatnot, thank you. Let me know your opinions and just let me know anything. Or just chat, hang out. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.